I'm Michael.
And I'm Carleen, and this is our house.
We're living our best renovation life.
For over 10 long years now.
We've pulled off a massive transformation.
But still, there's a long way to go. So we're heading out again to see some of the brightest and boldest renovations in the country for some great design ideas and plenty of inspiration.
We'll reveal a finished home every single episode.
And our place? All will be revealed.
Let's go.
This episode, we're in sunny Brisbane to see this 1980s Italian-style brick palace brought into the 21st century. We met Chris and Crystal from Zou Build in Series 1, where they renovated a 1930s classic Queenslander home for some very special clients. This time, they're renovating their own family home.
We just sold our other house and Chris and I were on the hunt for something a little different. And yeah, when we walked into this, it definitely ticked all the boxes.
And it's definitely different. Being in Brisbane, a lot of their work is restoring old timber beauties. This home is wall-to-wall bricks and concrete, which means good bones, but it also means heavy demolition to get the floor plan they want.
So walking in, it was obvious we needed to reconfigure the layout. It was very boxed in, and it just needed to be opened up and allow a lot of that natural light to come in.
And everything was in original 1980s style.
Homes of this era were all about separate rooms, segmenting into the living area, the kitchen, the dining and the family room. Whereas modern living is more about an open, spacious floor plan with good connection to the outdoors. This allows the rooms to be filled with natural light and gives the areas fluidity and connectedness. I'm sure there'll be a few walls knocked down here. Same goes in the cramped toilet and bathroom. Pink tiles. I wonder if they'll stay. The extensive brick, these white pillars, are these eyesores to a modern eye or retro beauties that need to be saved? This palm-filled atrium, there's potential here, that's for sure. I can't wait to hear what Chris and Crystal have planned for this transformation.
A few weeks later and we finally get to visit. Going by this full skip in, there's already been some heavy demolition done.
So Michael and Carleen are coming today. We are really excited to see them again because we haven't seen them since last season. I really appreciate Carleen's style.
Be good to pick their brain.
Yeah, it's always good to have another person's opinion.
This is a lot different to your last build.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's like it's an Italian stallion. Isn't it? Brick, concrete, ornate pillars.
Yeah.
Very different to what we're used to.
So my first impressions of this house is it is solid. It's all brick, it's suspended slab, there's these concrete pillars. It's going to be hard work transforming this thing.
What are you going to do with all this brick? Because there's good brick and then there's old brick. And,
Yes,
you know.
so very light bagging, filling the mortar joints flush.
Going the bagged brick is an excellent decision. Often modern renovations of brick homes get a full render which loses the beautiful texture and character of the brick. This way the colour is modernised but the beauty of the brick remains. Now they just need to work out which colour to paint the facade.
Painting it white, I believe.
Grey.
I was going to say.
Oh, the old white and grey.
No, just
No, not white and grey.
Just
There's
white.
some contention here.
Just grey.
I think Crystal's got a clear vision of what she wants to do with this place. And I think Chris doesn't mind chiming in with his little bits and pieces. But ultimately, I think this renovation is going to turn out exactly as Crystal plans.
8 times out of 10, we probably agree.
Probably a bit higher, though.
Maybe 7.
I'm with Crystal here. Grey is a great neutral colour that looks good in full sun, whereas white will just be too bright. We'll keep an eye on this one.
I love this atrium. This atrium is awesome.
Yeah.
Good that you say that. It's going to be the main focal point.
It has to be.
House.
Yeah.
Especially for this lower level.
These guys are really fortunate because this house has this really unique atrium and it's sort of the jewel in the crown because so many of the rooms look at this atrium, which means you've got really good sunlight and they have an opportunity to do something really incredible with it.
Are definitely going to make this something pretty special.
Crystal is right. The atrium will make or break this whole area and they have to do something special. If they get it right, the kitchen, dining and family room will have an awesome indoor-outdoor feel and be flooded with natural light. It's a big pressure point that they have to get right. Well, take us through.
Come on in.
So what is this?
So this is going to be our kitchen. So butler's pantry over here.
So this will be the island bench?
Yeah, island bench, which will land sort of in between, smack bang in the middle of this beautiful French door that we're putting here.
Nice.
You know, you can see the atrium from our living room, from our entry.
Yeah.
So that really needs to be something wow.
Flooring will be another important choice.
So what are you guys doing on the floor? Because I'm assuming it was tiles.
So there's a few options. We could tile again, we could expose the concrete, or...
We can do herringbone.
There is also a little bit of contention over their flooring choice.
Why not just a normal straight lay timber?
There's always something special about herringbone. It just always looks amazing. And everyone does straight run.
Yeah.
So why not do something a bit different?
And
Why
as it
not?
is the only timber in the house, maybe, you know, it'd
Make a feature
Make
of
a
it.
feature of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Might come down to the budget.
Might come down.
And if Chris is willing to do it or not.
He's going to do it.
Now the house has been internally stripped back, decisions like the flooring can be better visualised. It's already come a long way from its original 1980s vibe.
It was a typical 84 build.
Yeah.
It looks like a typical 84 build.
This house was a classic of the era.
I like to think of this house as an 80s Italian stallion.
Some of the 80s finest. This interior was probably cutting edge for the day.
The 80s wasn't a great year in home design.
It wasn't a good year for anything, really.
No.
After some satisfying demo, floors are now back to slab and numerous walls knocked out for the intended open living floor plan. Externally, the 80s vibe is still going strong, but not for long. Welcome back to Mansfield in Brisbane, 11 kilometres southeast of the CBD. Close to good schools and in good reach of the city, Mansfield is experiencing a surge in popularity with lower-priced, older-style homes ripe for renovation. Just like this Italian stallion sitting proud on the hill. Chris and Crystal of Zou Build purchased this place for their own family home and have a huge job on their hands to bring it into the 21st century. We've seen the bottom floor, time to check upstairs.
This is huge.
Yeah, wow.
Yes, so upstairs living / sitting room.
Yeah.
Bit of an escape from the kiddies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or they want to escape from you.
Right.
Yeah, it works both ways.
It's got a really good aspect, this room, doesn't it? And you get a lot of light.
Upstairs has also been heavily demoed with only a few signature 80s pieces remaining. They swapped over the bedrooms with the master now positioned on the eastern side to allow for plumbing for an ensuite. Chris and Crystal will make the original master and the second bedroom into dream rooms for their 2 young girls, complete with a huge walk-in robe. Connecting with the atrium downstairs is a small patio, also with great potential.
So this is our outdoor.
You've got some views.
Yeah. Yep. It is.
Balustrade is hideous.
You're not a fan?
There aren't many endearing features in this house that you would actually bother keeping. But things like the ornate pillars and the arched doorways in an 80s style home, it's got to go.
I'll be really excited when you are knocking it down.
Yeah. Be careful what you wish for, Crystal, because I can feel a montage coming on.
No turning back now, and as with any reno, hopefully the budget can keep up with the progress.
You know, our reno is already costing a decent amount. So
What, do you have a number? Can you say a number, or is that not?
for Chris,
Somewhere between 200 and 250,000.
Chris and Crystal have estimated the renovation will cost them approximately $250,000. They'll need to borrow that amount on top of the money they used to purchase the property.
Obviously, with the amount of work that needs to be done to the house, we need a fair bit of money.
So before they got started, they paid a visit to Mad Loans to see their go-to guy, George Samios.
We've known George for about 5 years. We've come to him with all our mortgage needs. Over the years, we've watched him grow and his company grow. He's got some awesome staff members too. He's even got a funky Daytona machine and some Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat Daytona, so good excuse to come.
Mad Loans have picked up numerous awards for their services, and George has even taken out Broker of the Year. Sounds like they're in good hands.
Guys, I've got some good news and bad news. What do you want to hear first?
The bad. Give us the bad.
You know, I'll never give you bad news without good news as well, right? I caught up with Chris and Crystal probably about 6 months ago when they first bought their house, and they're coming in today because they want to get some more money to renovate. So I've ordered a valuation on their house, and today I'm going to tell them what it came in at. You guys bought in November for $779. The bad news is I've done a new valuation, and it came in at $730, $49,000 less than what you paid.
Oh my God.
Wow. Yeah, okay.
So that's the bad news, but the good news is, like I'm a mortgage broker, and I've ordered a new valuation through a new bank.
We're hoping, because he's George, he's going to come through with the goods and save the day.
The new bank valuation came in at $850, which is awesome.
Oh, well, that's good. Yeah.
So what we'll have to do is refinance to get the money so you can do your renovation.
So what about rates, George?
The new rates, I actually got better rates, would you believe it? Because it's more competitive right now, so I got better rates than what you're on.
He's managed to save the day again. He's refinanced us with a new bank. We've actually gotten a better deal with a better bank.
I think we've come out better off.
Yeah.
Sometimes a house with one bank may value at $600,000, another bank $700,000, and that extra $100,000 will give you the money you might need to renovate your house and ultimately get a better price if you go to sell it.
Well, it's all systems go.
What about your time frame?
4 months.
4
Maybe
months.
4 months. We're living with my lovely mother-in-law at the moment.
Oh, okay.
Krista's mum. So I'm not saying it's bad there, but sooner we can sort of get out of her way, I think the better.
Well said. All right, mother-in-law, if you're watching, good son-in-law. But Chris has a budget of $250,000 to do the whole house, which doesn't sound like enough to me. But depending on how much he's going to take on himself, he might be able to get it done for something close to that. The more worrying thing is the 4 months he thinks he's going to do it in. You know, there's a lot of work to be done. They're replacing every single window in here. They've got all sorts of structural work to do. 4 months seems like a very short time.
I think they appreciate the amount of work that needs to happen. And yeah, I think they're really excited to see how we're going to pull it off.
Yeah.
So last time Chris got me to give him a hand, it was with some carpentry work, which I'm a carpenter, so I loved. This time he got me doing demo, and it was hard, labour-intensive work. So Chris had me on the concrete cutting saw, had me on the jackhammer, the sledgehammer. Yeah, I mean, I only did it for 30 minutes, but it was enough.
Meanwhile, Crystal and I got to talk about more important things, like the finishes.
So you've got all the samples, which I love. What are you doing in the kitchen?
So we are using a new product by Laminex from their Absolute series. It's the Absolute Matte Black.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, so...
You want to touch it, don't you?
Yeah, and it's great because you can touch it all you want. And having little kids, I hate fingerprints.
Fingerprint.
No fingerprints.
Really?
So it's awesome. Yeah, touch it all you want and you won't see anything.
Oh, I love that. Because actually you wouldn't think it, but black does show up a lot.
Yeah, so I was a little bit reluctant.
Yeah.
Because I did want black, but I was a bit worried about the fingerprint aspect of it. But this is perfect.
The bench top choice is looking good.
We are using the Stone Unique Calicutter. The great thing about this is you can get it in a honed finish or a gloss finish.
So that's the honed?
Yeah. It's stain resistant as well. So,
Really?
you know, with most marbles and granites and stuff like that, you have to be so careful
porous.
because they're porous. Whereas with this, you can just wipe it clean and...
Because it's an engineered stone.
It is an engineered stone, yeah.
And in the bathroom, there's similar colours going on. Hopefully, Crystal gets the timber floor across the line to give some warmth to these cool tones. So black, greys, whites. So you probably need to throw in a little bit of timber there to warm it up.
Yeah. Demo is almost done. We've got a lot of windows to come out yet and we need to get them replaced. Kitchen cabinets need to get done, walls need to go up, so there is a lot to do. Hopefully we stick to our timeline and don't go over.
Chris and Crystal plan to transform this 80s brick palace into a modern masterpiece.
Their building company, Zou Build, mostly do renovations to beautiful old timber homes. But this is going to be their own family home and they've taken on a massive task. Bricks, concrete and, well, wall concrete. Week 6 of 16 and they're getting their flow on.
So since Michael and Carleen were last here, we've all but completed the demolition and we're starting to put things back in, which is where it gets exciting. Plenty going on today. We've got electricians, plumbers, Laurie from Prime Air, he popped in and just had a look at where he's going to lay some of his ducts and the return air.
As they're coming upstairs, we don't want to look off-centre or anything like that, so we just want to make sure in that hallway it's going to look spot on, the same as these lights. We'll try and line up with the lights and everything like that as well.
With a 3-phase ducted system going in, the energy efficiency will be great.
Each individual room will have its own zoning, full control, Wi-Fi control on your smartphone, and then you'll have an 8-inch Android tablet which can hook up to your lights, you know, your garage or anything like that, so full smart control.
We've had Kirsten come and do a bit of a quick measure up, and we've had a window delivery from Stegbar, so full on today.
Kirsten and Rhonda from Royale rocked up today to do a check measure. Super excited because, you know, when you see them here, you know that the pretty stuff is almost ready to be made.
Ah, yes, the pretty stuff. Benchtop materials and cabinet finishes. Crystal has already made her choices, all but one. The handles.
I actually wanted to talk to you about handles.
Handles are an interesting one at the moment because we don't yet know what we want. They're an item which can change the look of a kitchen pretty quickly.
It can make it break.
Yeah.
Very sleek and subtle.
Yes. Yeah, that's exactly right.
Yeah. So one thing that I still need to decide on with my cabinetry is the handles. I think Kirsten mentioned that they really do change the appearance of the kitchen. That's something that I just need to nut down on and try and finalise in the next sort of couple of days.
Might be a few late nights on Pinterest coming up for Crystal. The window or no window is another big decision right now.
The windows have been, I think, a bit of a debate between Chris and Crystal.
Window splashback in the kitchen or no window splashback?
Sounds like the guys have another slight disagreement.
I was for window, he was nay window.
I wonder who'll win out.
It all ended up in my favour.
Yeah, as always. So windows arrived from Stegbar a little earlier today. We'll start having to look at putting those ones in. Once again, very different to how we'd normally install them. We've got double cavity brick, so it's once again going to have its small little challenge there. But
yeah, have to think outside the box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Crystal has ducked outside to her office to place some product orders.
The plumber's here ready for rough-in. So I'm just going to jump onto the Reese website and onto their Mac system and order my bathroom and kitchen products. Pop in my delivery date so I can order this anytime while I'm on the road, on site. As long as the branch have submitted a quote, we're all good to go.
What an age we live in.
So budget-wise, we're looking pretty good. It was a bit touch and go whether we're going to have enough for landscaping. But at this stage, there might be a chance.
We might get some turf.
A couple of weeks later and there's been a very noticeable change.
We're about halfway through week 8. Render's gone up on the walls. We've got plastering done, almost finished. Tyler's here today. We've got the roofer coming to put new gutters on. So, yeah, it's full steam ahead at the moment.
Nothing can stop them now. Yeah, except rain.
So it's just started raining, which means my renderers are going to go again.
Sad face indeed. Well, lucky this is Brisbane and there's usually some sunshine just around the corner. And now that the rain has cleared, Crystal can see something she's not sure of.
It's because the joints, they're still dry.
Yeah, okay.
It's going to take a while, especially with this weather.
The render looks like it's not drying correctly because of all the moisture in the air.
Inside, there's no weather delays, and plasterer Dean is feeling pretty good.
How's it going, Dean?
All right, Chris.
He's happy today.
Nearly finished.
Just doing the final sand-up.
Back outside and it's still not looking quite right yet.
The front looks good.
Oh, it has to all look good.
Yeah, I know. It's just that one section.
But there is a time when the character needs to override perfection, especially for Chris.
Character, right?
I don't want it perfect.
No. I'll go across the street and say,
Yep, Chris has an idea. It might seem strange to put more water on it after all this rain, but this way the drying should be more uniform across the side facade.
so far everything's going according to plan. Yeah, I can't work out how to turn it off.
You got to like.
Yeah, it's almost like as soon as we started the render, the rain came too. I reckon when the gutter guys come, we'll have another downpour. It's always the way though. Yeah.
And here they are. And sure enough,
Meanwhile, back at our house on the Gold Coast, we're planning the next stage of our lengthy renovation.
well, it's been 2 years since we wrapped season 1. After season 1, we were worn out. It was a big reno, and I think it probably got bigger as we kept going, as renovations do. So, literally, since last season, we haven't touched the place. When we revealed our house last season, we didn't actually reveal the entire house. We still had lounge, kitchen, dining, office to go. So we sort of kept that to the side, and we're going to attack it now, some 2 years later. So we're ready to get into it. So this is the facade that we built almost 10 years ago, and I absolutely hate it. Basically, we're going to reclad it in the shadow clad. This is all going. We're going to put a big bank of louvers in here just so we can look at the courtyard from the office. We've got a couple of great concepts for this side of the house. We're going to include a void where we're going to put an indoor tree in. We've got a really cool featured island bench that's going to be natural stone. It's going to have a big curve in it. The biggest thing we're doing in here is this kitchen. This is a kitchen that we built from flat pack that we got from the local hardware. It was done on the super cheap. We've used the cheapest flooring we could. And as you can see, 10 years later, it's looking pretty dilapidated. The thing with living in this house is we built this 10 years ago, so all the little bits and pieces we don't tend to notice. So I actually haven't even got door fronts on those drawers 10 years later. A bit of skirting missing here, the floors, got some gaps in them here and there. There's no kickboards. We don't seem to notice it. This here, I don't know what this is. I don't know what we were thinking when we designed it. But now when you step back and you take a look and you're about to start the renovation, it really is quite obvious how much stuff has to be fixed.
Colleen's been complaining about this laundry for about 10 years, and I don't really see the problem, but I don't do the laundry, so I can't really complain.
But have a look at it. There's nothing wrong with it. We've got a washing machine. We've got some storage. Look, I put some storage in. Probably the room that's most overdue for renovating is the laundry. And look, clothesline. What else do you need? It's a laundry.
Thankfully, this room will be getting a complete makeover. In fact, this space will form part of the void and be home to a large indoor tree. The laundry will move upstairs and run off from the butler's kitchen. the office will also be completely transformed. Over on the other side of the kitchen, our living room was due for reimagining, and it was here that our renovation actually began. I've never liked the TV in the living room. With open plan living, there's no escaping the noise and what the kids are watching on TV. So we wanted to create the complete opposite, a peaceful room that invited conversation with a fireplace and a brick feature wall for visual warmth. We're using black and tan bricks by PGH Bricks, the same bricks we used for the two-storey tower for their warmth and for the sake of consistency. The design is no easy feat, a unique double arch that marks the start of a bit of an arch scheme which unfolds throughout the rest of the home. Luckily, our brickies are absolute master craftsmen. The wall includes a fireplace and a floating bench seat, perfect for a bit of extra seating. We love the durability and the no-nonsense factor of brick. Once they're in, they're almost indestructible to the wear and tear of daily life. Ah, the sound of no TV is bliss. We are about to take to the rest of the room with hammers and grinders, but at the end of all this, this will finally be a peaceful space.
How
are you? A couple of weeks later, we just had to pop up to Brisbane to have a look at the progress. Transformation? Wow, what a difference it makes to this facade. The transformation is pretty spectacular. It's not finished, but amazing.
And what a day we get to be here. There's trades everywhere. Now, I'm pretty sure that Chris has just arranged every single trade that he has to turn up today because it is mayhem in there. There's joinery going in, you know, there's the plasterers in there doing his Venetian plastering, there's the painters, it's all happening, but it's all starting to come together and it's looking pretty smooth.
After the break, we get a first look inside.
And later, we'll see the final reveal in all its glory.
We're in Mansfield, Brisbane to follow the renovation of this 1980s brick palace, bringing it into the 21st century.
Chris and Crystal have given themselves 16 weeks to complete this project, their own family home. With only 3 weeks to go, we've popped in to see the progress and how Chris and Crystal are faring.
The outside is looking amazing, and inside, underneath this thin layer of plastic, looks like a lot of work.
And what about these floors?
The standout feature for me walking into that house are the floors. The floors are amazing. This is Hereford herringbone from our mates at Wilson's Timber. I wonder if this is Chris's handiwork. And you lay them all yourself?
Oh, yeah.
I sure did. 2 weeks worth.
And Chris laid them all by hand. It's all herringbone pattern. A lot of work. Pretty hard going, especially for a perfectionist like Chris.
It was testing times. It's hard for a perfectionist when you're trying to keep everything nice and...
Oh, I know exactly what you mean. Like, I'm a perfectionist.
Yeah, no.
We've seen examples of that.
He doesn't know what you mean.
Back to our last episode.
Yeah, that's right. The other big feature will be this internal courtyard.
And this is the courtyard.
Yeah, the atrium.
Taking shape.
And that's what we're trying to do, really, you know, give that, as soon as you sort of walk in, it opens up.
It may not look like much yet, but that courtyard for them and that house is going to be the centrepiece, literally and figuratively, because it's going to let in so much sunlight, which is key.
A couple little surprises to go in there, which you guys will get to see.
Oh, you don't
on
tell
reveal day.
us. No. We need to have
We've got to
some
keep
little hidden,
I like it.
hidden things under our belt.
I love surprises. I'm looking forward to it. The other thing I'm looking forward to is seeing this island bench go into the kitchen. Kirsten from Royal Cabinets is on site today overseeing the install. We're actually standing on the island.
Yes, we certainly are.
And Crystal said there's no overhang, is there?
No, it's a slab island.
For a bench.
Correct. So the stone, you've got 2 waterfalls either side, and along the back, essentially there's a waterfall as well. When you walk in, it's going to be an absolute feature of the house. And I guess that's what any person wants with their kitchen, is that feature.
Yeah. The material selection in the kitchen has been one of Crystal's biggest decisions, and the products are sounding amazing. Anthony from Laminex explains.
The 2 main products that they've utilised in this project is Laminex Absolute Matte, has a very high scratch resistance, but most importantly, and the really unique feature of the product, is that it resists fingerprints. There's a real trend towards matte products in design currently, but most surfaces out there, as soon as you touch them, you'll leave that marking. So this absolute matte is very innovative and very unique. The other product that they're utilising is our unique colour cutter, which is a product in the Essa stone range. It's a very white stone, but it has that beautiful marble look. And in combination with the timber floors that they've chosen, it will look absolutely stunning.
Laminex believe good design equals good living, and for over 80 years, these guys have been at the forefront of product design and sustainability. I can't wait to give this fingerprint-resistant finish a test run once it's in. Upstairs, things have progressed as well. Velux skylights in the bedrooms.
The beauty about this, they're all solar powered. So you can have them open, and then if it starts raining and we're not here, it'll automatically shut.
And the bathrooms.
This is where you need light.
Yeah, definitely.
Bathrooms and kitchens.
Yeah.
And not only are these windows from Stegbar, so are the wardrobes, shower screens and mirrors. Neil from Stegbar knows how important wardrobe design is in today's homes.
Wardrobes today are more functional than just a storage space. They're like a furniture, so it can make the room look a lot more beautiful than in the past. The mirrors, again, with the use of LED lighting, the simple look that Crystal was after in her bathrooms, we're just going to keep it relatively simple. So a polished mirror on a small cabinet with LED lighting in behind it should really highlight the finish, the rendered finish he's going to have over the top of a vanity.
This is the bathroom where I helped knock out the wall. And with another Velux skylight installed, the whole room has really opened up.
So I've never seen this terrazzo, but I love it.
That is a replica?
It's a tile.
Yeah.
Right.
Crystal wanted to pay tribute to the original Italian style of the house by including terrazzo in the bathrooms.
True terrazzo comes, like a concrete, basically. But so I've gone gigantic tiles in here just to minimise the grout lines and make it look more true.
Real terrazzo tiles were too expensive, but these huge terrazzo look tiles satisfied both aesthetics and the budget.
You guys will be finished well before we will in 3 weeks. That's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
We are excited.
Looking forward to moving back in and enjoying it, aren't we?
Yeah, and we are looking forward to coming back
Yes.
and celebrating
Can't wait.
the finished product.
I was surprised to learn that he'd only given himself 16 weeks and that he's at this point with 3 weeks to go. He's still got a lot of work. There's still landscaping. There's that atrium in the centre still needs to be filled out. There's no bench seats. They're putting a tree in there. So it's going to be tight.
It's nothing like a deadline. We know.
With just a week to go before their 16-week deadline, Chris has almost finished the floors. Almost.
In total, it's been 4 weeks of myself and Liam, the apprentice.
I think the herringbone has made Chris a little loopy. He's getting paranoid of other trades stealing his attention.
I always said to Alex, the renderer, I said, mate, you got to stop stealing my glory because you're coming in to keep all of a week and everyone just keeps sort of, saying, oh, wow, the Venetian plaster looks fantastic.
There's a lot of activity on site today. An install by the guys from Brisbane Garage Doors, Stegbar are finishing off the showers.
Out the back, there's some interesting progress too. Crystal has now got a landscape designer involved. Looks like the budget is getting well and truly stretched. But it'll be worth it in the end. The project is nearing completion and they're both itching to finish and move in.
It's been a bit of an emotional roller coaster, hey?
Yeah.
But it's close.
We can't wait. After the break, we're coming for the reveal, ready or not. The day has finally arrived.
We're a little bit excited, a little bit nervous.
We're pretty excited about this reveal. We've seen what they're capable of and we saw the house during the build. It's got great bones, so we're excited to see the final product.
16 weeks of work and Chris and Crystal are finally in their newly renovated home. And from the street, the transformation is amazing. What a transformation you guys.
Thank
It's
you.
just chalk and cheese from what it was.
Red brick's gone.
And the alternative is so much better, isn't it? This house has undergone a huge transformation because what it was a lot of really daggy brick and some real statement white European pillars. What they've transformed it into is something really contemporary and really striking. I love that you left some of the outline of the brick by doing the bagged brick. It's just so much more interesting than a full render.
We're a bit disappointed the red driveway's gone.
I'm less disappointed.
I'm not disappointed.
Nah.
Not one bit.
In the blaring Queensland sun, a white facade would have been way too bright. The grey render with the black balustrades and black windows works perfectly. And the greenery out here sets the whole thing off. Facade, tick. Can't wait for the tour.
Should we have a look?
Come and have a look.
I really love that you walk in that front door and the first thing you see is this beautiful atrium. It adds extra light, and then the greenery in there are, again, there's just extra life that you don't necessarily always get in a home interior.
So we knew we wanted to connect the atrium to the kitchen somehow. We put in the massive Pot Plus planter, which, you know, connects the two spaces, and the spiral staircase, which also connects the upstairs entertaining area.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Boom shika wawa. Isn't it? It's very sexy. All that sleek black.
These floors are absolutely amazing. You can tell you've gone to so much effort to put them in.
Yes, and never again.
That tough. For me, I think the floors are the absolute standout piece in this house. You can just tell, being a carpenter, how much effort has gone into it. And talking to Chris, you know, he'll tell you how much he had to put in to get these floors looking as nice as they do. But, you know, as I said, it's probably one of my favourite pieces of this house, and he's done an awesome job.
There's so many like hard surfaces around, we just needed a little bit of warmth.
You don't have to work as hard to get that softness and warmth in your other surfaces if you've got the timber on the floor. If you had had concrete in here with all the grey and black, it would have been really harsh. So this was totally worth it. And it makes everything else pop. The colours and finishes work so well together. These cabinets are a unique product from Laminex, fingerprint resistant.
You know, having kids, you know, and having such a big kitchen, I wanted to minimise cleaning and, you know, wiping fingerprints and all that. The Absolute matte range, you know, I don't have to worry about that.
And the island bench has the perfect marble look, but with the benefits of an engineered stone.
Everybody loves the marble look, but obviously marble's too porous to use, so...
And expensive.
And expensive.
The kitchen is a real standout in this house. It makes a really sharp first impression with the dark matte surfaces against the white stone. I think the fact that this particular surface is fingerprint resistant is going to serve them very well with young kids, because I know a lot of people have those dark kitchen surfaces and the fingerprints can drive you nuts. Well, the adults agree this kitchen ticks all the boxes. But what do Chris and Crystal's daughters think of this new open-plan living kitchen?
The kitchen was kitchen, dining, and there was a little bedroom there. There were walls separating it, and now it's just some open space, which I love, and a good place for us to dance while Mum's doing her housework.
Now, we walked into this really impressive entry, which is really made impressive by your courtyard because it's light-filled. You get to look out and see some greenery via the tree. Has that all come together exactly how you've imagined?
Yeah, we love it out there. It's nice sort of in the morning to have your brekkie on, and then nice again in the afternoon to have a bit of a wine or a scotch.
In all your spare time.
Yeah, you know. But no, it's a really nice space out there, and just it's nice to be able to see it from, you know, the main rooms of the house, the living, the kitchen.
Well, I'm thankful you actually got to do your landscaping because, like you say, that's one thing that just gets
pushed to the wayside if you're running out of cash and running out of time. But if you hadn't and you'd put that window splashback in, you wouldn't have much to look at, would you? No. Against a black and white kitchen, I think being able to look at that greenery is really key to the whole kitchen being a success.
Our best investment was getting a landscape designer in to give us an idea, because, you know, everyone can easily put plants in and make it green, but she just scaled it right back and broke it all out for us to make sure what we saw out this window was something special.
Oh, wow. There's a terrazzo in here.
Terrazzo look tile.
It's a faux terrazzo.
It's a faux terrazzo.
It's having a bit of a moment at the moment.
Yeah. Really love it.
Yeah.
I went with a big 6x12.
Yeah.
To minimise the grout line.
And how good is this stuff at disguising dirt?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what you want. I mean, that should be the prerequisite of any good bathroom.
They're actually really dirty at the moment, but you can't tell.
I think Crystal and Chris have done an awesome job with the layout as a whole in this house. Walking into that entry, you know, that was once outdoor. It's now this amazing entryway. Looking into the courtyard, they've got this amazing set of stairs in the centre of that. So they've done a great job of the layout as a whole.
This tour is just getting started. After the break, we head upstairs.
And we'll talk budget. All right, let's talk hard numbers. How did you go with the budget?
Budget.
Well, downstairs was very impressive. We head upstairs to continue the tour. First stop, the second living room.
Let there be light.
Yeah.
There's so much light up here. It's such a luxury to get that.
You know, this essentially will be like the kids' space. You know, having the atrium downstairs and the outdoor area, I think that will be more for the adults, you know, to entertain and to do all that sort of stuff. So, yeah, I guess we wanted a space for the kids as well.
It's a dream house. I think anybody would want to live in it. I think my room's amazing. How about you? I love my bedroom.
So coming from a much smaller house, how does it feel to have all this wardrobe space?
Yes, it is really good. We didn't do a walk-in in our master. We, a bit like you guys, like to close things up.
Get rid of the mess.
Yeah. Steg Bar were fantastic with making sure that we had the right storage solutions for everything to make everything fit. So, it's great.
I had some reservations about them pulling out that window in that bathroom up there. You know, in my mind, I always feel like you need to have that connection with the outside, you know, and you need to have a window there that you can open up and get rid of all the smells. So the fact that I'm moving...
Too much information.
That bathroom looks amazing. They've bought that textured render in there as well. They've got a Velux skylight in there, which is for the smells to go up. And, you know, the layout in there is perfect.
Really concerned about these smells.
Well, you're not a guy.
Is this because heat rises?
I'm loving this balustrade because last time we were here, you weren't 100% sure on what you were going to go with. You know, we knocked down those old Italian white
pillars.
Concrete pillars. That is the perfect solution.
There's a theory with black, you see through it, you don't look at it. So the idea with white is you would look at it. And I guess in a balustrade, you don't want to be looking at it, you want to look through it. And that's why a lot of people choose glass.
Yeah.
But glass is just something else you have to clean.
Yeah,
so that is a really good solution.
And generally with building and renos, the last area to get finished is the landscaping. But you guys have done an awesome job.
I guess we really needed to do this space justice. You know, we've done so much inside. Yeah, we wanted it all done. We just thought we'd rip the Band-Aid off.
Totally.
And get it all done.
Last time we were here, Chris and Crystal had reservations about actually finishing their outdoor space because I think they were well aware, even at that point, that budget was going to be an issue.
All right, let's talk hard numbers. How did you go with the budget?
Budget. Probably about 20-25% over our initial.
Wow.
Yeah, a little bit, and majority of that's out here.
Yeah.
With the patio roof, patio area.
Well, I guess you get to a point where you're like, well, look, we've come this far.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, we've got a roll on. Let's just finish it.
Yeah.
Is that your advice to viewers?
I think it is.
We've already blown the budget, so let's just really go hard.
I think when we, like with our last renovation, it took 10 years to finish. And Chris hated being there.
Yeah.
He hated being
You start
in the
resenting
house.
it.
You start resenting it. And you think, you know, you just sort of get to this stage. And we said, and this was a deal breaker with this house, when we said we're going to start renovating it, was I want it to be finished. You know, I didn't want to live in an unfinished house. So, you know, it happens. You get the inside done and then you leave the outside and you end up, it still feels like a renovation. So, like I said, we just ripped the Band-Aid off and got it done.
Well, I guess it's a lesson for everyone because, you know, you two are in the industry, you know.
Still go over budget.
You still go over budget. It happens. It does
Professional,
happen.
they say.
But you do. You want to come home to somewhere that's complete and, you know, that isn't a construction site, which you've been looking at all day.
Me too.
Yeah.
All right. We're getting...
on
Wait,
that.
are you still going with yours?
Oh, yeah. Still going.
Is there one thing that you wouldn't do again?
Apart from the floors, the windows.
You know what? Like, we say this every time we get to this stage of our projects where we're like, never again. But, you know, you get to the stage and you start thinking about what's next, you know? You get to the end of your project and when you have a creative mind, you can't switch it off.
Do you know what? That's like labour.
Yeah.
Because you're like, oh, never again.
Yeah.
But you forget the pain of the labour because
That's
you've
right.
got this amazing outcome.
Exactly, yeah.
And it comes to like days like today, like you guys get to walk us through your amazing house that you've spent so much money and so much time on.
Yeah.
But beyond that, you get to live here and enjoy it.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, so would we do it again? Yes. Would there be things that we would change?
Absolutely.
Probably. I was going to say probably not, but
That's definitive.
clearly I didn't do all that.
I'm proud of Mum and Dad for creating an amazing house. I'm proud of about my room and Mum and Dad's room and everything. Yeah. I was excited about today because we got to show how hard Mum and Dad worked for this house, and also because I got to go on TV. Is that it? Yeah.
On the next Ready Set Reno.
This is a house I grew up in, and you know, the more we were thinking about it, we go, yeah, it could be a really cool project and a great idea.